The Ulaanbaatar Grand Slam is underway, and this video focuses on the best throws and submissions from day one of action. So the star of the tatami in my mind from day one was this lady in white, Daria. So she came out straight away in her opening match, threw for a big ippon, and she did the same in the semi-final. This time it was an uranage. If you're wondering what happened to her in the quarterfinal, you'll have to look at the video I uploaded earlier where Tsukasa Yoshida was disqualified in her match with Daria. In the final, Daria would not go home with the gold medal. She faced off against the local girl. I'm going to give myself one shot at pronouncing the name. LKHAGVATOGOO. Probably butchered the name. And she won there with the seonage. Daria tried to counter with uki-waza, but the Mongolian girl, the hometown girl, drove into her as she attempted the uki-waza, redirected her, and Daria landed more on her back. Although Daria did attempt the uki-waza, the Mongolian girl wouldn't have even conceded a waza-ari, as she landed very cleanly on her side. And good display of sportsmanship by Daria at the end. And unfortunately the IJF have a lot of cameras, but we missed that cartwheel finish she did. Here's a look at one of the other medalists for the day, the Uzbekistani girl. And here's another of the medalists, this time from the 48 kilo category. It's Lee of Korea. Beautiful kosotogari. It'll make your local giant happy. Next up, we'll have a look at some newaza action. So this was an interesting one. You don't often see uki-gatame used. Uki-gatame is when you go for juji-gatame and you switch to uki-gatame, a pinning variation. And here we see a transition from juji-gatame to uki-gatame, back to juji-gatame for a submission. This is by Kuznetsova. So Kuznetsova establishes uki-gatame. Osaikomi is called, so the opponent has to make an effort to escape osaikomi. That opens up the opportunity for the juji-gatame submission, and the match is all over. Now here's something I didn't quite like. I wasn't really happy with the celebration here. A little bit disrespectful, I feel. I don't mind the scream going in the other direction, but you don't need to scream in the other girl's face. Next we'll have a look at the matches of Natsumi Tsunoda. I always enjoy watching Natsumi Tsunoda. Just the confident gripping, the big tomoanages, and the strong newaza. We didn't get to see a lot of newaza from Natsumi yesterday, but we saw lots of tomoanages, lots of throws. If you're wondering what happened in the final, I didn't include the final here. Have a look at the video I posted earlier, where I go over 3 disqualifications that happened in big matches in women's judo on day one of Ulaanbaatar. Now here is Natsumi Tsunoda against Gilyazova. Gilyazova gave Tsunoda a tough battle. Tsunoda was behind on shidos for most of the match, so a little bit of a nervous one for her. Gilyazova kept trying to twist the arm of Natsumi Tsunoda. Did give her some trouble. Here she's going for a juji-gatame. Doesn't get it. Now finally, Tsunoda was able to score with tomoanage, and in the semi-final she used kochi-gari to win by ippon. Here's another ippon win. Kosoto-gari by Starke from Germany. Here's an interesting one. We see a kanto choke attempt. Now Bavudoj was behind on a waza-ari here, and she decided she wanted a mate call, so she suddenly switched to turtle. It turned out to be a big mistake. Her opponent just followed her up and took her grips and transitioned to yoko-sankaku. There was a submission. I don't know whether she was just submitting because osai-komi was established and she clearly wasn't going to be able to escape, or whether this was a chokehold. So we'll finish the video with a look at Tsukasa Yoshida. Tsukasa Yoshida early showed some impressive newaza. She was able to turn this into a submission opportunity, but I sort of had the feeling watching it that this Mongolian girl was going to be strong enough to deadlift her, and she did deadlift Tsukasa Yoshida, dropped her onto the mat, and Tsukasa Yoshida got her revenge with an uchi-mata to an osai-komi win. If you're wondering why Tsukasa Yoshida didn't have more highlights, she did get disqualified in the quarterfinals. Check out the video I uploaded earlier today. I'll put a link to this on your screen. Thank you for watching. There will be more videos coming soon. Subscribe for more non-stop newaza.